Khuram is actually a friend of mine, and I'm honored to say that he's a friend of mine, mashallah. He is a business and behavioral strategist. He's an entrepreneur and he's an author. And like I said, he's written this book called Billion Dollar Muslim, Why We Need Spiritually Inspired Entrepreneurs. So me personally, I am really, really excited to be doing this because it's always fun to do these kind of things with your friends and stuff. So Jazakallah khair, bro, for joining me today.
You're welcome, bro.
I'm telling you, let me tell you why I'm excited to have you here, first of all, right? So
Is it because I always buy you hot chocolates?
Yeah, you know what? You not only do you buy me hot
take
chocolates,
you to nice coffee shops.
you take me to nice coffee shops. Yeah, I think you offered me a dessert at that time. Anyway, let's not get into that. You can do that later, inshallah. So, the reason why I'm excited to have you on specifically, bro, is because I think you're very unique, right? The reason why I think you're unique is because the way you think. It's quite different to a lot of Muslims that I've met, because you get Muslims who are like very kind of Muslim centric, very kind of a certain way, and then you get people who are very professional and they're very like corporate and they're a certain way, right? And for me, I've seen you like kind of bring the best of those worlds, and I think your experience is very unique as well. Like when we go into the story, you'll see that just the way you think is very, very different, and I think that's really, really important for other people to really get that perspective, because I think that perspective will really, really, inshallah, help them. So before we start, I just want you to kind of tell me a little bit about your story, tell me a little bit about yourself, and like I said, I want you to go as deep as you want. You can start from when you were born, and just tell me a little bit about yourself.
That's far back. Well, okay, I mean, I won't go that far back. Obviously, I was actually born in Bristol, but I was raised in Sheffield, so I was raised in the north of England. Just normal, typical working class family. My mum was a teacher. My dad had he was initially working in the factory, and then he got a council job. And, money was always a struggle. And my mum had come over from Pakistan when we got married, when she got married.
Yeah.
So although she wasn't like a lot of women that came over from Pakistan, she was actually quite different to them. She picked up the language quite fast. She went and got a job as well. A lot of women that came over didn't go and get a job. And so she tried to understand the culture that she was in. So she was a little bit different. And she bought, I think, and I'm not saying this as a criticism, but when people bring religion over from their country, they kind of really just bring the culture over. She didn't really do that. She actually brought the religion with her. She was still growing and learning more about the religion, and she tried to adapt the culture that we're in to what she taught me as well. And I'm actually realizing this now at almost 40. I never understood it then. So my mum was quite unique in that way, and my dad wasn't a typical guy that gets married to some girl from back home either. He was always a little bit different. He was surrounded by a lot of people that came over, a lot of people that were growing up here in the 60s and 70s. They were surrounded by a lot of alcohol and gambling and all these vices, and he could have got away with it. And he was somewhere where religion wasn't really dominating, but he still chose to keep himself polished and away from all of that. So that was quite unique. But he tried getting into business. He hated working for someone. There was institutionalized racism and very genuine racism. He didn't have a degree, all these kind of things. And so I went into business when I was about 15, 16. I started building PCs from home. I broke my first PC, and then my dad had to help me get it fixed. And then my dad was like, you could see I was really into computers. My dad got him to train me for a year. So he taught me how to build PCs. I think I built around about 1,000 PCs in a year with my bare hands.
Wow.
Those desktop PCs. Yeah, maybe not a year. I think maybe 2 or 3 years. I can't remember what the figure is now, but I've done 1,000 PCs, but I can't remember how long it took me to do that. And then, I started selling PCs from home, and then my dad kind of caught on to it and thought there's really something here. And then we went into business together in my first business, which was a computer business. This was like 1999. That just about broke even. It wasn't a great experience, and I hadn't realized it actually taught me a lot, but I hadn't realized that at the time.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 19.
Okay.
So I would go to uni in the morning, like I'd go depending on what day it was and what my lectures were. But a typical day would be get to uni for about 9:30 in the morning, while my dad would be at work, as his desk job work, and then I would do my lectures and stuff to like 1 or 2 p.m. Walk down. We'd have like a part-time assistant. Walk down to the shop, which was a 30-minute walk, and then spend the afternoon serving customers and everything. And then wrap up at 6. If somebody had a PC to be delivered or some repair job needed to be done at somebody's house, go and deliver the PC, get home for about 7, have something to eat, and then do my uni homework, dissertation or whatever. And it was the same thing Monday to Friday, and then Saturday would be a bit of the shop and and then Sunday would be like home. And that was like 70-hour weeks.